Hello children, welcome back to online class. So children, in the previous class we had read about the parts of a flower. That is what? The sepal, petal, androecium and gynoecium means male reproductive part and female reproductive part, and sepal part and petal part we had read in our previous class. I hope all of you understood about the parts of a flower completely. Today we are going to know about the types of flowers, children. Types of flowers means what? Basically flowers are of two types, children, on the basis of presence of their reproductive parts. Reproductive parts means what I told you. Reproductive part means androecium is male reproductive and gynoecium is the female reproductive. Okay, androecium is the male reproductive part and gynoecium is the female reproductive part. So on the basis of these two reproductive parts, flowers has been divided into two types, that is monosexual flowers and second one is bisexual flowers. Monosexual means, the other name of monosexual is unisexual, children. Unisexual means single reproductive part they are having. Either they may have androecium or gynoecium, but unisexual means what? They are having both male reproductive part and female reproductive part. Okay, we will know briefly about this. So let us go, children. So look at here, children. This flower we can say it as a white mulberry flower. Okay, white mulberry flower, and this one you can say what? Papaya. Papaya we all know about it, na? So these two are the examples of unisexual flower which I showed you here, which I have shown you here. Unisexual flower contain either the male or female reproductive parts. Look at here, children. In this flower, papaya flower, the papaya contains androecium. If I will zoom in, you can see it. This papaya contains androecium, and here at down, this papaya contains gynoecium. What? Gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part. Okay. So some more examples of unisexual flowers are maize, cucumber, watermelon, and as I told you, papaya and white mulberry. Okay. So related to all these, children, because these flowers having only one reproductive part, we can say it as an incomplete flower. The flower which have both male and reproductive part, we say it as a complete flower. But the flower which don't have means which have only one reproductive part, we can say it as a unisexual or incomplete flower. Okay. So next we will see about bisexual flowers. So children, bisexual means, as I told you, the flower which contain both male and female reproductive parts. Okay, and they are also called complete flower. As I told you, the flower which having both male and female reproductive parts, we can say them as a complete flower. But as I shown you in the previous video, I have shown you the female and male reproductive part of a hibiscus plant, hibiscus flower. Okay, so I have shown you there that the androecium and gynoecium part of a flower. So you can easily say that the hibiscus flower is the female reproductive part, female reproductive bisexual flower, you can say. Okay, so for example, hibiscus, mustard, lily and daffodil, these type of flowers you can say them as bisexual flowers. Children, now sunflowers move throughout the day in response to the movement of the sun from east to west. Children, have you seen any sunflower plant which moves like means when sun is on the east side it faces to the sun, and when sun is on the west side it faces to the west side. So normally sunflower moves with sun. Okay, so now we will see process of pollination, children. Process of pollination. So look at here, children. Here pollination is written. What do you mean by pollination? Pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a flower to the stigma of the same kind of flower. We can tell it as a pollination. Okay, I will show you, children. Wait. Just look at the picture here, children. Here small dust like pollen grains are there. Now these pollen grains, this type of pollen grains means small dust like pollen grains are there. So these pollen grains normally transfer the flower to the stigma of the same kind of flower is called pollination. Means this pollen grains transfers through the by air, or you can say through by the honeybee or butterfly, you can say, or pollinators, you can say. So this these pollen grains transfers from the anther to stigma. Okay, anther of a flower to stigma. Anther means what, children? Anther means the upper part of a what? Androecium, and stigma means the upper part of a gynosium. Okay, so these small dust like pollen grains transfers through air or by pollinators to stigma. Then pollination occurs, children. How the process of pollination occurs, we will know it in our next chapter. So the process of pollination involves the transfer of pollen from the male reproductive part of a plant to the female reproductive part of a plant. Okay, male reproductive part means androecium and female reproductive part means gynosium. So a plant where the fertilization takes place. So after the transfer of the anther, pollen grains from anther to stigma, then pollination occurs where plant fertilization takes place. Pollination is an important part of plants in life cycle. Children, if this pollination would not happen, then can you guess, can you say what happens? The plants lives will the number of plants what we see around us will not be like this, and the plants like we humans reproduce and new life comes, like that after this pollination plants also reproduce, and with the help of the seed another plant occurs. Understood? Pollination takes place mostly with the help of insects and birds. Look at the picture here, children. This is a pollen grain, children, which usually stays in where? Anther, this above part. Okay, these are pollen grains. Just look at here in the stamen. So these pollen grains usually go through wind, transfers through wind or through pollinators. To where they go to the stigma. After that pollen tube occurs and it will reach to where? Ovary. And after that in the womb of the ovary what comes? Ovules come, and after that with the ovules the seed will germinate. Okay, I will show you. And look at here, children. So normally pollination takes place mostly with the help of insects and birds. Look at here, the honeybee is transferring the pollen grains from anther to stigma. These agents of pollination are called pollinators. Because of this reason we can say the honeybee and the butterfly as pollinators. Wind and water also help in pollination. As I told you, when rain comes, when wind blows, at that time also pollination takes place. Okay, so now we will see types of pollination, children. So look at here, children. Normally pollinations has been divided into two types, that is self pollination and cross pollination. Self pollination and cross pollination. At first we will know about self pollination, children. Self pollination means what? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower. As I shown you, children, look at the picture here. The anther of the stigma means the upper part of the stigma where pollen grains stays. The anther, what happens? The anther, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower of the same plant or between the different flower, means this anther just transferred its pollen grains to where? To stigma through wind, or you can say through what? Through water. So at that time pollination occurs. So it occurs in bisexual flowers only. For example, I will show you. Normally self pollination occurs in bisexual flowers only, because in bisexual flowers both male and female reproductive part, that is androecium and gynoecium, placed at one flower only. So it will be easy for them to pollinate, because through water or through honeybee or through wind the pollination occurs with the help of the pollinators. Okay, so this type of pollination we can say it as a self pollination, because in bisexual flowers self pollination occurs. And some examples of self pollinating flowers are what? Orchids, peas, sunflowers, wheat and barley. Okay, look at here, children. Orchids, peas, sunflower, wheat and barley. These flowers you can say them as they pollinate like with themselves only, and that process we can say as self pollination, because these flowers are bisexual flowers. Okay, children. Now we will know about cross pollination. What do you mean by cross pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of flowers on different plants of the same species referred to cross pollination. Children, normally the unisexual flowers means they grows in different places, so it is difficult for them to pollinate. So what happens at that time? Cross pollination mainly occurs in monosexual flowers by wind and insects. At the time, with the help of the wind and insects, cross pollination occurs. Means this, look at the honeybee, children. At first this honeybee, pollen from stamen sticks to bee as it visits a flower to collect food. Means this honeybee comes here and it sits on the stamen of the flower. So anther of the flower means it sticks on the anther of the flower. After that it takes pollen grains, pollen on the bee sticks to pistil of a flower on the other plant. Means after this bee comes here to the female plant and it sits on the stigma of a flower. So after that the bee travels to another plant of the same type. So the bee travels to the another plant of, after that pollination occurs. Understood, children, how pollinators pollinate? So cross pollination mainly occurs in monosexual flowers by wind and insects. For example, I will show you this type of flowers, children, that apple, grapes, look at here, apple flower, grapes flower, plums, pears and raspberry. These type of flowers you can say monosexual flowers, and in this monosexual flowers cross pollination occurs because they are not having both male and female reproductive parts in the same plant. Understood? So now we will see the difference between self pollination and cross pollination, children. We can easily say that the difference between the self-pollination and cross-pollination, that transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flowers or same plant is self-pollination. And what do we mean by cross-pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a flower on one plant to stigma of another flower of same species on another plant. We can say it as a cross-pollination. Next, transfer of small number of pollen grains is self-pollination. Transfer of large number of pollen grains is cross-pollination. Next, transfer of pollen grains directly onto stigma is self-pollination. Next, transfer of pollen grains through insects, wind, water, animals are called as cross-pollination. For example of self-pollination flowers are orchid, pea plant, groundnut. Next, 4 example of cross-pollination flowers are tulip, grapes, plums, apples, pears, etc. Next, 5th one, it occurs in bisexual flowers. Self-pollination occurs in bisexual flowers, but cross-pollination occurs in monosexual flowers. Understood, children? So that's it. We are done with this chapter, and in the next online class I will explain you about the types of flowers and the process of pollination. Okay, until you do one thing, you try to understand this lesson. If you will any related with this lesson, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the live class. Okay, children, that's it for today. Have a good day.